Opioid addiction often begins with leftover prescription pills in the medicine cabinet. Disposing of the medication in a timely fashion could possibly save a life. What you should not do is simply throw it away.
Opioids should be destroyed, and the nation's largest retailer is helping their customers do just that. 13 News Now anchor Janet Roach shows us how.
Any needles or anything?
No.
Okay, that's the only thing we can't take.
No needles.
It is the best way to get rid of leftover prescription meds.
Yep, perfect.
Thank you.
Your local drop-off spot for the drug take-back program.
Thank you.
After the drugs leave this Newport News precinct, they're burned in an incinerator by the DEA.
I just needed to get rid of it.
Now Walmart is offering another option, stepping into the effort to get leftover opioids out of people's hands before they can be abused.
So this is our way and our due diligence of keeping our communities safer.
A company called DisposeRx partnering with Walmart and turning your opioids or just about any pill into a biodegradable gel in minutes that can be thrown away. Watch how easy this is.
So you just open this up.
First, a bottle 1/3 filled with pills. Pour in warm water.
And then you just put this packet inside. Take it out.
With the DisposeRx powder, deemed FDA safe.
Dump it all in.
And shake.
And meanwhile, when you're shaking it, you can actually feel it getting heavier if you ingest it. It can't be absorbed. See how it's starting to be like a gel?
This one Walmart pharmacy can give out dozens of these packets a day to just about anyone picking up prescription pills.
It's really revolutionary for the pharmacy world. I know as a community pharmacist, we've never had this kind of access, affordable access that we can give it out for free.
It beats a common practice the lab techs and chemists at Hampton Road Sanitation District say is a no-no.
And ensure that the drains in their households are not used as trash cans.
This is where almost 24 hours a day your water is being tested.
It's where we're primarily removing organics, solids, bacteria, and viruses.
If medications are flushed down the drain, bacteria works to break them down, but some of it slips through and ends up at the wastewater treatment facility.
Incidentally, we also remove quite a lot of medications, but we don't remove 100%.
Which could end up in your water supply. Janet Roach, 13 News Now.
Well, Janet tells us each person who gets the DisposeRx from Walmart has a mandatory consultation.
Now, the numbers reveal an alarming and growing opioid crisis. The Virginia Department of Health is still tallying the numbers from 2017. Because of that, the latest data available is from 2016. That is when VDH reported 803 opioid-related deaths. Virginia's doctors treated 8,700 overdose cases in the same year. Medics administered the overdose reversal drug Narcan more than 4,000 times. If you are struggling with opioid abuse, curbthecrisis.com has information that can connect you or your loved ones to treatment. We'll also have a link in the story on 13newsnow.com.